The gas tank is leaking at the sending unit, and I've had it leak a couple of times. I've taken it off. I've tried to reset it and seal it. I think I got it fixed, and then it comes back. So it's driving me crazy, and there's not really any room to get up in there with the rear end. So I'm gonna drop the tank, have a look, and see if I can fix this thing on the ground, you know, and really get it super tight so it's not leaking. All right, when I tilt it, see it kind of get wet in here. See that? It's not supposed to be doing that. I mean, it's all the way against there. By the way, this is an aftermarket tank. It's not an original. We actually changed it when we first got the car running, right after we bought it. The original tank was pretty rusty. Like either the gasket's not thick enough, or these are not in enough, or this is not out enough to create a nice seal. The sending unit's not thick enough. I don't know. I wonder if it's supposed to go over that. All right. Maybe it's supposed to go over that. I just couldn't get a good swing on it under the car. So I'd had turned this to where it went up to there. This was to there. Going a little further, hopefully that put pressure on it. Let's see if it seals now. Okay, I think that's fixed. Shit. Wish I'd realized that in the car. I just couldn't get a swing in there with the rear end so close to the tank. So FYI, when you put this ring back on, it has to go past that hump all the way to the edge. So if your gas tank's leaking at the setting unit like this one was, you got to make sure this ring is on all the way. So I originally had this bump to right here. It has to go over that bump and lock in here on these 3 spots so that it's putting enough pressure to make a seal. So I'm pretty confident it's fixed now. Hopefully I'm right. Now I just got to get this back in the car. So far, so good. Not seeing any leaks underneath the car. I think I got about 15 gallons or so in there, so I'll go top it off. Actually, I'll probably fill the cans in the trunk and then top it off at home, see if it leaks. But yeah, I think we got it. I think it's good now, so I'm happy. This is kind of interesting. Another YouTuber reached out to me. His name is Night Wrencher. You can check him out on YouTube. He's got 2 channels. One of them's called Night Wrencher, 2 separate words, and another channel called Night Wrencher Performance. Night Wrencher being 1 word, Performance being 1 word. You can go check him out. Anyway, he's got a 71 Charger with a 361 big block, turbo on it. Kind of like a grassroots, low budget build, you know, or budget minded build. Anyway, he asked if I would be interested in doing a competition where him and some other YouTubers are going to get together and go to the track, maybe do some road racing stuff, do some drag racing. And the drag racing stuff's kind of at the forefront. So, you know, I don't really have a car for road racing, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, this is still kind of like, we're still trying to formulate stuff, right? Anyway, so on his end, his buddies are Pontiac Ray's Garage. You go check him out. He's got a pretty sweet 67. I think he also has a 68 Firebird. And then the other guy is No Bolts Left Behind. He's got a 70 Challenger with a 3rd gen Hemi in it. Beautiful car. And of course I said, hey, well, I got a buddy that likes to do competitions. His name is Sorta Stock Mopars down in San Diego. So he's, you know, somewhat close by and might be down for it. So he said, yeah, sure, invite him too. So, which I did. And of course, Jeremy at Sorta Stock is down. By the way, hopefully he's okay with me saying this, but he's talking about changing his channel name from Sorta Stock Mopars to just Sorta Stock. So, you know, be aware of that. If you're looking for we're still kind of putting stuff together, trying to figure out the rules. The biggest rule, I think, and I'm not sure that it's 100% solidified, because I was kind of on the side of, you know, allowing slicks, and the majority appears to want to restrict tires to hard tires so that, you know, we don't get too crazy in horsepower and speed and kind of equalize the playing field with hard tires, which I get and I understand, but you know, if you do start getting into that faster echelon, you know, the cars can get kind of squirrely. Means Doorthy is coming back. I guess Doorthy is the challenge car, right? It just, you know, somehow it finds itself in the midst of these challenges. Starting off, we're going to do some drag racing stuff, and here's what it looks like so far. And it's subject to change, all right? So don't hold us down to anything. Hard tires, you know, power adders open, weight open, how you build your engine open, everything else is pretty much open. So we're going to have like a point system. So we're going to do several events. You know, every month we're going to race once or twice a month. And then per event, you're gathering points. And then like at the end, you have a championship, you know, whoever has the most points wins. So just for a little background, where we left off on Doorthy, last time she really saw any action was at Duct Tape Drags 2022, racing Jeremy, sort of stock Mopars. She went 14.9 at 92 miles an hour in the quarter, 9.5 at 72 miles an hour in the eighth, so pretty slow. And I think she's going to be okay with street tires running, you know, those kinds of ETs. More than likely, she'll slow down. I have a feeling we'll get a little, you know, tire spin. But interesting enough, that's right about where Night Ranger is. Sorry, man. Where the hell did that come from? Night Ranger. I wish I knew him better to know if I could, you know, give him a nickname. Night Wrencher. Sorry, Night Wrencher. Anyways, interestingly enough, Night Wrencher, actually, his Charger is running right about that same ET or so. So it'll be an interesting race. And of course, you know, Jeremy at Sort of Stock Mopars is running right in that same neighborhood too. And where we left off in Tucson, Arizona, is I beat him in the eighth, and he beat me in the quarter mile. And I beat him by a bumper, and he beat me by a bumper. So in one race, it was like I won the half track. He ran the whole track. But if you remember, we started all this on an eighth-mile track. So I just want to make sure I point that out. Anyway, so there's at least 3 cars there that are in the same group. So I'm not sure where No Bolts Left Behind is on his Challenger. I think it's quite a bit faster, so it's probably going to be one of the faster cars. And Ray's Pontiac Firebird, I think I don't think he's tested it and actually had it on the track yet, but I think he's had his other car on the track, so he's got a good idea of how fast it's going to be. And so he's going to be quite a bit faster than. So at least we have 3 cars like grouped really close to each other, and maybe a couple of cars that are maybe ringers. Hopefully they're close to each other. I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting. So pretty excited to so the only thing that I've changed on Doorthy since then is I had a 456 Sure Grip in the car, which is fine for the drag strip, but trying to drive the car around, it's you can't take it down the freeway, really, you know. The thing is, the motor's just screaming. But anyway, I pulled the gears out of it, and I put in an open 276 rear end. So the thing has got really super tall gears. I'm actually kind of curious to see if the Belvedere slows down, speeds up, or runs exactly the same. So I'm not going to change anything. I want to see what it does with the tall gears. Once we have that first drag racing event where we all race against each other, then we can look at what kind of changes and modifications we want to make to Doorthy. Yeah, and we'll talk about that stuff when we get there. We don't want to give away any potential plans right now. So once we get together and we have that one event, you know, I am curious to see what the car does with the taller gears in it. But other than that, I don't want to make any changes to the car. I just want to take it as is, go have some fun with it, and we can, from there on, figure out what kind of modifications we want to make to the car to see if we can go a little bit faster. So, you know, yeah, we'll see what happens.